This is ANN News Brief.
Talks between the Sudan new transitional government and rebel groups begin today, Monday, after South Sudan President Salva Kiir invited both parties. The delegation led by Mohamed Hamdan Hameti Dagolo, a senior member of Sudan's ruling Transitional Sovereign Council, is in the South Sudanese capital Juba for dialogue with rebel groups operating in Sudan. The South Sudanese official says Sudan's Transitional Sovereign Council leader Abdel Fattah Al-Burhan will attend the opening session of the talks along with Egypt, Kenya, Ethiopia and Ugandan leaders. The talks between the transitional government and the Sudanese Revolutionary Front are aimed at convincing rebel groups that have been fighting the government army in the Blue Nile, South Kordofan and Darfur regions to join the Sudanese political process. At least 10 Kenyan police officers were reported killed when their vehicle struck a homemade bomb near the border with Somalia over the weekend. A police report said the device, which no one immediately claimed responsibility for, was planted by Islamist group Al-Shabaab. Police said in a separate statement on Saturday that several officers had died without specifying how many. In June, a similar explosion killed nearly a dozen police officers. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network, ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Mozambique is heading to the poll on Tuesday for presidential elections. Candidates have ended their 43 days campaign on Sunday in preparation for Tuesday's elections. President Filipe Nyusi, whose Frelimo party has ruled Mozambique since independence in 1975, is seeking a second term. For the first time in the country's history, 6 opposition parties have signed a cooperation pact to prevent electoral fraud. The main opposition Frelimo party candidates, Osufo Momadi, made whistle-stop campaigns across 4 districts of Nampula province. He also made an appearance in his hometown, Ilha Mozambique. Another candidate, David Simango of the Democratic Movement of Mozambique, rallied supporters in Beira, the central region. Meanwhile, there is speculation that some police stations in northern Mozambique could be relocated ahead of Tuesday's general election due to an ongoing military operation against Islamist militants. The northern Cabo Delgado province, a hub for mining and petroleum exploration, has witnessed sporadic attacks carried out by a militant group locally known as Al-Shabaab. The attacks have forced villagers to flee their homes, and election officials are now considering relocating the police stations as well. President Filipe Nyusi told a campaign rally on Sunday that a major military offensive to destroy the terror group is underway in parts of the province. That is the ANN News Brief. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, nnafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adem.